People often use the term intrusive thoughts on a daily basis, commenting on the fact that they base their decisions on those intrusive thoughts. However, what are exactly intrusive thoughts? Or are you just being impulsive? By definition, intrusive thoughts are unwanted thoughts that can pop into our heads without warning at any time. They are often repetitive, with the same kind of thoughts cropping up again and again, and they can be very disturbing or even distressing. Now, examples for intrusive thoughts are, for example, hurting individuals randomly, like running over children, pushing people off the bridge, or stabbing yourself with a finger, or stabbing yourself with a knife. Now, intrusive thoughts are caused by distress, discomfort, or anxiety, well, depending on your environment and surroundings. Now, before we go on, let's take a look at something people actually have that aren't intrusive thoughts. Now, situations like eating junk food or getting a buzz cut, these aren't intrusive thoughts. These are called impulsive thoughts. Now, impulsive thoughts are those out-of-the-blue notions or urges that can push us into snap decisions, often without weighing the outcomes first. They have various roots like stress or anxiety and can be sparked by things around us or the emotions inside us. Okay, so we clearly need to distinguish this. So let's take a look at both words, intrusion and impulse. Now, by definition, intrusion, the noun for intruding, or a synonym for trespassing or invading, a negatively connoted word, which is quote-unquote bad. Now, impulse, a sudden urge or drive to make a decision, neutrally connoted, as it can go either in a good direction or bad direction. So to understand these words, let's try to picture them in a comparison. Now, this may seem a bit overwhelming, but let me break it down for you. Starting with the intrusive thoughts, we clearly see the intrusive thoughts are much darker and hinder one's moral compass. Every thought is created to evoke damage or havoc, as having them makes you dangerous to yourself and others. Now, intrusive thoughts are connected with both OCD and PTSD, both extremely severe disorders. Even the examples at our best morally questionable and at worst downright illegal and inhumane. Impulsive thoughts, on the other side, are much more tame and less dangerous, being intrusive thoughts' more innocent younger cousin. The decisions are based on mood, which at worst will give you a bad day or experience, nowhere as severe and numbing as intrusive thoughts. Also worth mentioning, it may be connected to ADHD, as impulsiveness leads to rash decisions, which are usually made by not thinking things through due to a low attention span. Either way, even the examples show how casual the decisions are, embarrassing you in the worst case scenario. And finally, of course, these thoughts have something in common, as there are difficulties to control them and therefore can disrupt your day-to-day life. Now, after doing a bit more research, I wanted to see how many people experience these thoughts, and the results are quite expected, as over 90% of us have these intrusive thoughts. On average, people have around 6,000 thoughts daily, so intrusive thoughts won't be that uncommon after all. Moreover, the average person won't act on these thoughts, leaving them to be harmless. Now, something weird is the fact that there isn't a medical cure for these thoughts. The only way to stop them is to distract yourself. And sadly, I didn't find any research papers or experiments about how often people act on their intrusive thoughts. So the cause and effect on intrusive thoughts remains a mystery until more research is done. Whether intrusive thoughts turn out to be an issue depends on the next generations and how they treat their thoughts. But one thing is for sure, the answer lies within the future. If you enjoyed this video, let me know what other videos you would like to see. Stay safe and keep thinking.